One of Us Next, Chapter 2, Phoebe, Tuesday, February 18th. The logical part of my brain knows my mother isn't playing with dolls, but it's early, I'm tired, and I'm not wearing my contacts yet. So instead of squinting harder, I lean against the kitchen counter and ask, "What's with the dolls?" "They're wedding cake toppers," Mom asks, yanking one away from my 12-year-old brother Owen and handing it to me. I look down and see a white-clad bride with her legs wrapped around the groom's waist. Some underappreciated artist has managed to pack a lot of lust into their tiny plastic faces. Classy, I say. I should have guessed it was wedding-related. Last week, the kitchen table was covered with stationery samples, and before that, it was do-it-yourself floral centerpieces. "That's the only one I like," she says with a hint of defensiveness. "I suppose you have to account for all the kinds of taste. Could you put it in the box?" She judged her chin towards a cardboard box half full of foam peanuts on the corner. I drop the happy couple inside and pull a glass from the cabinet next to our sink, filling it from the tap and finishing the whole thing in 2 long, greedy gulps. "Cake toppers, huh?" I ask. "Do people still use those?" "They're just samples from Golden Ring," Mom says. Ever since she joined the local wedding planners organization, boxes full of stuff like this show up at our apartment every couple of weeks. Mom takes pictures, makes notes of what she likes, then packs it up to send along to the next wedding planner in the group. Some of them are cute, though. She holds up one of her bride and groom, molting a silhouette. "What do you think?" There's an open box of Eggo's waffles on the counter. I pull out the last two and pop them in the toaster. "I think plastic people on top of a cake isn't really Ashley and Eli's style. Aren't they trying to keep things simple?" "Sometimes you don't know what you want until you see it," Mom says brightly. "Part of my job is opening their eyes to what's out there." Poor Ashton. Addie's older sister has been a dream neighbor ever since we moved into the apartment across from them last summer, giving takeout recommendations, showing us which washing machines never eat our quarters, and sharing concert tickets from her job as a graphic designer at the California Center for Arts. She had no idea what she was getting into when she agreed to help Mom launch a side business in the wedding planning by coordination. A few details of her upcoming wedding to Eli Kefner. Mom's gone a little overboard. She wants to make a good impression, especially since Eli is something of a local celebrity. He's a lawyer who defended Nate McCauley when Nate was framed for killing Simon Kelleher. Now he's always being interviewed about some big case or another. The press loves the fact that he's marrying the sister of one of the Bayview Four, so they reference his upcoming wedding a lot. That means free publicity for Mom, including a mention in the San Diego Tribune and an in-depth profile last summer in the Bayview Blade, which has turned into a gossip rag since covering the Simon story. So of course they took the most dramatic angle possible. After a heartbreaking loss, Area Window launched a business based on joy. We could have all done without that reminder. Still, Mom has put more energy into this wedding than just about anything else over the past few years. So I should be grateful for Ashton and Eli's endless patience. "The waffles are burning," Owen says placidly, stuffing a fork full of syrup-soaked squares into his mouth. "Shit!" I yank my Eggos out with a whimper of pain as my fingers graze the hot metal. "Mom, can we please buy a new toaster? This one's gotten completely useless. It goes from 0 to scolding in 30 seconds. Mom's eyebrows come together with the worried look she always gets when any of us talk about spending money. I noticed that, but we should probably try cleaning it before we replace it. There must be 10 years worth of breadcrumbs up in there." "I'll do it," Owen volunteers, pushing his glasses up on his nose. "If that doesn't work, I'll take it apart. I bet I can fix it." I smile at him. "No doubt, Brainiac. I should have thought of that first." "I don't want you playing around with anything electrical, Owen." Mom objects. He looks affronted. "I wouldn't be playing." A door clicks to my older sister, Emma, leaves our bedroom and heads for the kitchen. That's something I'll never get used to about apartment living. How being on a single floor makes you acutely aware of where everyone is all the time. There's nowhere to hide, nothing like our old house, where not only did we have our own bedroom, but we had a family room. An office that eventually turned into a game room for Owen and Dad's basement workroom. Plus, we had Dad. My throat tightens as Emma runs her eyes over the piles of formally clad plastic people on our kitchen table. Do people still use wedding cake toppers? Your sister asked that exact same thing, Mom says. She's always doing that, pointing out threads of similarity between Emma and me, as though acknowledging them will somehow knit us back into the tight sisterly unit we were as kids. Emma makes a noise, and I stay focused on my waffle as she steps closer. Could you move? She asks politely. I need the blender. I shift to one side as Owen picks up a cake topper featuring a bride with dark red hair. This one looks like you, Emma, he says. All of the Lawton kids have some version of red hair. Emma's hair is a deep auburn, mine is a copper bronze, and Owen's is strawberry blonde. But it was our father who really stood out in the crowd, with hair so orange that his high school nickname was Cheeto. One time when we were at the Bayview Mall food court, Dad went to the bathroom and came back to see an older couple superstitiously checking out my dark-haired, olive-skinned mother and her 3 pale, red-headed kids. Dad plopped down next to Mom and put an arm around her shoulder, flashing a grin at the couple. See? Now it makes sense, he said. And now, 3 years after he died, we don't. If I had to pinpoint Emma's least favorite part of the day, I'd be hard-pressed because there doesn't seem to be a lot that Emma enjoys lately, but having to pick my friend Jules up on the way to school easily ranks in the top 3. Oh my god, Jules says breathlessly when she climbs into the backseat of her 10-year-old Corolla, shoving her backpack ahead of her. I turn to my seat, and she wipes off her sunglasses and flashes me with a death stare. Phoebe, I cannot stand you. What? Why? I ask confused. I shift to my seat, smoothing my skirt when it ends up on my thighs. After years of trial and error, I finally found the wardrobe that works best for me. And my body type. A short, flouncy skirt, preferably in a bold pattern, brightly colored V-neck or scoop neck top, and some kind of stack-heeled booty. Seatbelt, please, Emma says. Jules clips her belt, still glaring at me. You know why. I seriously do not, I protest. Emma pulls away from the curb in front of Jules' modest split-level house, which is one street away from where I used to live. Our old neighborhood isn't Bayview's wealthiest by a long shot, but the young couple Mom sold their house who was thrilled to get a starter home here. Jules' green eyes, striking as her brown skin and dark hair pop for dramatic effect. Nate McCauley was at Cafe Congo last night, and you didn't tell me. Oh, well. Turn up the radio so my mumble response will get lost in Taylor Swift's latest. Jules always had a thing for Nate. She's a total sucker for the dark, handsome bad boy type. But she never did consider him boyfriend material until Brown and Rojas did. That she circles like a vulture every time they break up, which has caused divided loyalty since they started working at Cafe Congo and became friendly with Addie, who's obviously firmly on Team Bronwyn. And he never goes out, Jules moans. That was such a missed opportunity. Major friend failure, Phoebe Jeebies. Not cool. She pulls out a tube of wine-colored lip gloss and leans forward so she can see herself in the rear view mirror. She applies a fresh coat. How did he seem? Do you think he's over Bronwyn? I mean, it's hard to tell, I say. He didn't really talk to anyone except Maeve and Addie. Mostly Addie. Jules smacks her lips together, an expression of mild panic crossing her face. Oh my god, you think they're together now? No, definitely not. They're friends. Not everyone finds him irresistible, Jules. Jules drops the lip gloss back into her bag and leans her head against the window with a sigh. Says you, he's so hot I could die. Emma pauses at a red light and rubs her eyes, then reaches for the volume button on the radio. I need to turn this down, she says. My head is pounding. Are you getting sick? I ask. Just tired. My tutoring session with Sean Murdoch went too long last night. No surprise there, I mutter. If you're searching for signs of intelligent life in the Bayview High junior class, Sean Murdoch isn't exactly where you'll find him. But his parents have money and they'll happily throw it at Emma for the chance that either her work ethic or her grades might rub off on Sean. I should hire you, Emma, Jules says. Chemistry is going to be a nightmare this semester, unless I get some help. Or full of Brown and Rojas is still a test. Bronwyn made up that class, I remind her. Jules kicks my seat. Don't offend her, she says sulkily. She's ruining my love life. If you're serious about tutoring, I have a free slot this weekend, Em says. Chemistry on the weekend? Jules sounds scandalized. No, thank you. Okay then. My sister exhales a light sigh like she shouldn't have been expecting anything different. Not serious. Emma's only a year older than Jules and me, but most of the time she seems more Ashton Prentice's age than ours. Emma doesn't act 17. She acts like she's in her mid-20s and stressing her way through graduate school instead of senior AP classes. Even now, when her college applications are all in and she's waiting to hear back, she can't relax. We drive the rest of the way in silence until my phone chimed when Emma pulls into the parking lot. I look down to a text. Bleachers? I shouldn't. But even my brain reminds me that I've already gotten 2 late warnings this month. My finger types okay. I put my phone in my pocket and have the passenger door halfway open before Emma's even shifted to depart. She raises her eyebrows as she climbs out. I have to go to the football field real quick. I say, hiking my backpack over my shoulder and resting my hand on the car door. What for? Don't want to be late again, Emma says, staring her light brown eyes at me. They're exactly like Dad's, and along with the reddish hair, the only trait she and I share. Emma's tall and thin. I'm short and curvy. Her hair is stick straight and doesn't quite reach her shoulders. Mine is long and curly. She freckles in the sun. I tan. We're both February pale now, though I can feel my cheeks red as I look down into the ground. It's for homework. I mumble. Jules grins and climbs out of the car. Is that what we're calling it now? I turn on my heel and beat a hasty retreat, but I can feel the weight of Emma's disapproval settling over my shoulders like a cloak. Emma has always been the serious one, but when we were younger, it didn't matter. We were so close that we used to have entire conversations without talking. Mom would joke that we must be telepaths, but it wasn't that. We just knew one another so well that we could read every expression as clearly as a word. We were close with Owen, too, despite the age difference. Dad used to call us the three amigos, and every childhood photo shows us posing exactly the same way. Me and Emma on either side of Owen, our arms around one another, grinning widely. We look inseparable, and I thought we were. It never occurred to me that Dad was the glue keeping us together. The pulling apart was so subtle I didn't notice it right away. Emma withdrew first, bearing us up with schoolwork. It's her way of grieving, Mom said, so I let her be, even though my way of grieving would have been to do it together. I compensate by throwing myself into every social activity I could find, especially once boys started getting interested in me, while Owen retreated into the comforting fantasy world video games. Before I had realized it, those had become our lanes, and we stayed in them. Our last Christmas card featured the three of us standing beside the tree, arranged by height, danced past in front of us with stiff smiles. Dad would have been so disappointed by that picture, and by me shortly after we took it for it happened at Julie's Christmas party. It's one thing to treat your older sister like a polite stranger, quite another to do what I did. I used to feel a wistful kind of loneliness when I thought about Emma, but now I feel guilt and relief that she can't read my feelings on my face anymore. Hey, I'm so caught up in my thoughts that I would have walked straight into a pole under the bleachers if a hand hadn't reached out and stopped me. Then it pulls me forward so quickly that my phone sat out of my pocket and makes a faint bouncing noise on the ground. Shit, I say, but Brandon Weber's lips are pressed against mine before I can get anything else out. I shimmer my shoulders until my backpack shows my phone on the ground. Brandon tugs at the hem of my shirt since this is 100% what I came for. I open my long bat, untucking it. Brandon's hands move up and across my bare skin, pushing aside the lace of my bra, and he grunts against my mouth. God, you're so sexy. He is, too. Brandon quarterbacks the football team, and the baby Blade likes to call him the next Cooper Clay because he's good enough that colleges are already starting to scout him. I don't think that's an accurate comparison, though. For one thing, Cooper has next level talent, and for another, he's a sweetheart. Brandon, on the other hand, is basically an asshole. The boy can kiss, though. All attention flows out of me when he pushes me against the pole behind us, replaced with the heady spark of anticipation. I wrap one arm around his neck, trying to pull him down to my height, while my other hand teases out the waistband of his jeans. Then my foot sends something standing across the ground, and the sound of my text tone distracts me. My phone, I say, pulling away from the spec if I don't pick it up. I'll buy you a new one, Brandon says, his tongue in my ear, which I don't like. Why do guys think that's hot? So I shove at him, no, let's go. His front pocket dings alley, and I smirk at the bulge there is as I retrieve my phone. Is that a text or just happy to see me? I say, brushing off my screen. I glance down and catch my breath. Ugh, are you kidding me? This again? What? Brandon asked, pulling out his own phone, unknown number, and guess what it says? I put on my effective voice. Still missing about that? I know I am. Let's play a new game. I can't believe somebody would pull this crap after Principal Gupta's warning. Brandon's eyes flick over the screen. I got the same thing. You see the link? Yeah, don't click it. It's probably a virus or... Too late, Brandon laughs. He squints at his phone while I take him in. Over 6 feet tall, with dirty blonde hair, blue-green eyes, and the kind of full lips that a girl would kill for. He's so pretty, and he looks like he could fly off with the harp any second, and nobody knows it more than he does. Jesus, this is a frickin' book, he complains. Let me see. I grab his phone because there's no way I'm following that link with mine. I angle the screen away from the sun until I can see it clearly. I'm looking at a website with the bad replica of the About That logo and a big block of text beneath it. Pay attention, baby. I'm only going to explain the rules once, I read. Here's how to play Truth or Dare. I'll send a prompt to one person only, and you can't tell anyone if it is you. Don't spoil the element of surprise. It makes me cranky. But I'm not nearly as nice when I'm cranky. You get 24 hours to text your choice back. Pick truth and I'll reveal one of your secrets. Pick dare and I'll give you a challenge. Either way, we'll have a little bit of fun and relieve the matrimony of our tedious existence. Brennan runs a hand through his thick, tawny hair. Speak for yourself, loser. Come on, baby. You know you missed this. I scowled when I finished. Do you think this went to everyone at school? People better not say anything if they want to keep their phones. Last fall, Principal Gupta shut down the latest Simon copycat, and she told us she was instituting a zero-tolerance policy. If she saw even a hint of another about that, she'd ban phones at school permanently and expel anyone caught trying to bring one in. We've all been model citizens since then, at least when it comes to online gossip. Nobody can imagine getting through a school day, never mind years without their phones. No one cares, it's old news, Brandon says dismissively. He pockets his phone and wraps his arm around my waist, pulling me close. So where were we? I'm still holding my phone pressed against his chest now. It chatted before I can answer. When I pull my head back to look at the screen, there's another message from an unknown contact, but this time there's no simultaneous text note from Brandon's pocket. Phoebe Lawton, you're up first. Text back your choice. Should I reveal the truth or really take the dare?